How's it going? So this is very, very important. I'm going to make a video on this, just to remember. I'll put the video in here. Okay, so this is mental health, I suppose. Mental health. Because you need to have mental, like this is mental body. This here. So this would be like healthy body. Right. So that's gonna be your Triforce, right? Okay, and this is gonna be your healthy mental health, probably. We'll put it as one. And center it. Okay, so so bullshit box exercise. This is probably the most important because this will kill your entire population of ants. Ants stands for automatic negative thoughts. So this I stole this from a brain. He's like a brain expert or whatever. He calls them ants. Automatic negative thoughts. They can limit your ability to do things because you automatically think that, oh, you're not good enough, blah blah blah, anxiety, all that bullshit right in your head. I call it bullshit box. I used to call it bullshit box exercise. You can call it ant, but okay. So how do you do bullshit box exercise, right? You take an Excel. We can call it BS box YouTube, right? Sample. Here you're gonna write down your belief or assumption. Okay. Well, let me find my one. One sec. Bullshit box. Yeah, so I put, now it's up to you. This is kind of like important. I'll write the yellow ones are like you must have them, right? Date is kind of meh. If you want, you can. Now I also have owner, which is owner, because sometimes I record other people's beliefs and see if they happen. Because I was talking to a friend, and she was like, no, I'm not gonna get this job. I was like, no, you're like the best qualified person for this. So I write down her name, her assumption that she's not gonna get the job. So she thought she is not gonna get the job, right? So owner, I'm not gonna tell you her name, but her I'm gonna write down girl 1. Okay. Date was it doesn't matter, 2016, whatever. Okay, and the next thing you do is you basically track the outcome. So was the assumption correct or the assumption wrong? So this is mandatory. You have to have this. And then you measure correct versus wrong. Okay? So if the negative assumption was correct, you put it as correct, which means you got screwed. Wrong is good. Now, these two you have to have as well. Let's just put them in here. Like so. Okay. So look, she thought she's not gonna get the job. She got the job. So, bullshit box. Bullshit box. So, was the bullshit box assumption correct or wrong? It was incorrect. So now we can do counter like this. And now we can get a probability of being correct. So you can write it down somewhere here. Probability of being correct. Put it somewhere here. Well, So we need to have correct divide by sum of correct and wrong at the same time. So probability of being correct is 0%. There you go. Dot dot dot. Probability of being correct. Okay. So let's go with another one. Let's say you, let's say I don't know, 2019. You thought me. I will not finish my college because of whatever X, right? You graduated, right? Okay, so bullshit box told you you're not gonna graduate, but you did graduate. Was the bullshit box correct? Was the bullshit box wrong? It was wrong. Okay, so you've got 2 out of 3. Okay, 2021. We'll see to 2020. Me. No one will hire me because I have no experience. Okay. You got a job eventually. Was the bullshit box correct? It was wrong. Okay. Now you will notice, okay, let's say 2022. Me. Boss called you into a meeting. Boss called me into a meeting because he is going to fire me. Okay. They wanted to do a side project which will require overtime and wanted to know if you would be interested. Was the bullshit box correct? Was the bullshit box wrong? It was wrong. Do you understand the process? Okay? Now, inside of you, there lives a bullshit box, right? So that bullshit box is designed to keep you alive. It's very, very good at keeping you alive. But the problem with the bullshit box is that it's going to filter out everything. It's like a antivirus system that blocks every single program, even if it's sometimes good for you. So you need to make sure that you don't listen to it and make decisions logically. Do you remember I made the video on how to make good decisions, which is this tool here? You need to replace the bullshit box with this tool here, because the bullshit box, I will give you my statistics. So 3 it was correct, 198 was wrong. Right? So if we do statistical probability of it being correct, it's gonna be 3 divided by sum of those two, because we want the total. So the statistical probability of being correct is 1.49%, which means that 1 minus this is gonna be probability of being wrong. You see the problem with this? It's like having an advisor in your ear that has 98.5% probability of being wrong all the time. This advisor is not very useful. Not very useful advisor. Because he's too negative. This bullshit, that's why I call it bullshit box. Because it's too negative. Now, it will keep you alive by locking you in a room and being afraid of everything. But it will not make you wealthy and successful, because it will say that everything you do is gonna fail. So you need to replace it with the decision-making tool. I'll probably remake this a little bit. So bullshit box is here. Well, let me pause the video, you don't need to see it. Okay, so I rewrote this stuff here so you can see. Basically, fundamentally, the issue, bullshit box is a very, very bad advisor. It's always wrong. It's almost always wrong. So you need replacement tool. Replacement tool is this Benjamin Franklin tool. It's way, way, way more accurate. I will swear by this tool. I'm telling you, your life is gonna explode if you use this. So this will take care of most of your problems. If you just want to do this one exercise, you're pretty much done. But I would also advise you the cookie jar. This is David Goggins' concept. So cookie jar is... Well, where's my cookie jar? Cookie jar. Again, we take out Excel. Now you need to put this into your... you need to put it into your diary on every week, let's say Saturday or Sunday, to remind you to either update it, look at it, or do the exercises somehow. Or now you need to get into habit of, for example, thinking some kind of bullshit box like, oh, the guy outside, some kind of he looked like a criminal who looked at me, and now he's outside trying, he wants to kill me, and I'm not gonna go shopping. You know, some stupid shit like this, right? Write it down. Go shopping, you find out that, okay, that assumption was wrong, right? Some stupid shit like, okay, I'm not gonna leave my window open during the night because a criminal might squeeze into the window and kill me at night because I live in a semi-rough area. Again, measure the window and realize, okay, there is no way a healthy human is going to be able to climb into that window. And then the size of the window is just too small. And anybody who can fit through this window is gonna be so tiny that they will not even be a threat to you. Does that make sense? So like you can kind of see how this bullshit box is like, it makes a lot of assumptions, but 99% of the time they're just wrong, and that's it. They're factually incorrect. So a cookie jar is... Actually, I'm gonna put this thing into my BS box. One sec. Whoopsie, I had the thing paused. I forgot where I was. Well, I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, so we covered the bullshit box. Now the cookie jar. Cookie jar is David Goggins' concept. So I lost the train of thought. Okay, so that's how it looks. The cookie jar. You're basically writing down your accomplishments. Date is optional, up to you. Your accomplishments. So, for example, you did 100 push-ups, and points up to 1,000. 1,000 is like max you can get, right? So, got a cool job, 1,000 points. Graduated from college, 1,000 points. And then, as you keep going, you can look back at this. So, if your self-esteem is low, you can look back at this and you can say, you know, this is absolutely like I accomplished a lot of things. So. Every day and everywhere I'm getting better and better. Okay, so I covered that with you. Yeah. So another exercise for self-esteem is probably, you can say I love myself. I love myself. Say it out loud to yourself. X10. So you can think about it, this is Brian Tracy concept. Brian Tracy concept. Some people say, okay, if like nobody loves you, you love yourself, right? But you need to make sure that this person that you love is awesome. So it's like a balloon pump. Think of your Think of your self-esteem as a balloon. Sometimes when balloon is empty, you can pump it by I love myself. So you can say I love myself, I love myself. So it's like you're pumping air into it. Like I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. I used to do it like in the morning sometimes, and then at night. That's work. And by looking at your cookie jar. Essentially, all of this is just designed to raise your self-esteem. Ultimately, you do not want to give a shit what do other people think, because they do not possess enough information to make an accurate judgment on you. Remember, like, we're using Benjamin Franklin decision-making tool, so we have, on one side, we have why you are awesome. On another side, we have why do you suck, right? And people do not have enough information to put on why you're awesome, so they don't know that you are awesome outweighs that you suck by a lot. The only person who can actually make that judgment is yourself, if you are accurate with yourself. So shit has to be factual. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit against kind of religion. I'm not against religion, I'm against the concept of believing in something without evidence. That can create delusions. So for example, let's say you think that you are a super hot guy with a six-pack, but you're actually a fat guy, right? That's not factually correct. That's not going to help you. Then perception of others is probably going to be more beneficial to you than your perception of yourself, because other people will give you factual information. They'll be like, hey dude, you're overweight. You'll be like, no, I have a six-pack. That's a bit delusional. That's incorrect. That's factually incorrect, right? That's why I always strive to... now, you can do religion for fun, you know, like it's a good way to gather together with people, socialize, but using it for tools like this is... It's kind of like some people, you prove them wrong, and they still say, I'm right. That my systems are not gonna work in this situation. That's why I'm kind of pushing people towards being a little bit more scientific-y, because I don't know how do you deal with, let's say, something has proven to be poisonous, but that person wants to drink it anyway. You tell him, hey, factually this stuff is going to kill you, but he says, yes, but I want to drink it anyway. That's religion. Because he says, no, it's good for me, and if I die, because so be it, because that's my destiny, or whatever. God wrote that I die. No, you're going to die because the drink is going to kill you. In that situations, I really don't know how to operate, and I stay away from these situations, in my opinion, because I don't know, like, all of my systems not gonna work in there. But anyway, I'm hoping that you're not that level. If you're that level, I don't think, like, probably it's best to unsubscribe from my channel, because my tools are not gonna work in this situation. Like, I'm like a doctor, like a scientist. I don't know voodoo stuff. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so video on this I'm gonna put in here. Probably put like so. Okay, so cookie jar, I hope explained. It's very easy. Write down your accomplishments, date optional, up to you, and then write down your points. So when you feel like shit, over time, tell yourself 10 times I love myself, and then go to cookie jar. So this acts like a factual proof that you are actually awesome. Okay. Now, if you're not planning to be successful in life, I'm talking about, like, because I've seen some guys in comments, they're like, oh, yeah, league is rigged, and haha, I gotta go, bye, play some solo queue. Now, if you're gonna be like that, I don't think, again, like, I'm giving you tools so that when you look back in time for 10 years, you'll say, oh my god, like, I'm such a different person, and I have accomplished so much, and I have every day in every way I'm getting better and better, right? So comparing yourself to other people is a waste of your time, because everybody has different conditions. Everybody was born in different families. Some people have privileges, some people don't. Some people have exposure to opportunities, some people don't. Do you remember this? Yeah, so remember this article, The Role of Luck, Scientific American, where on one side you have your talent and your skill, and on the other side you have exposure to opportunities. Exposure to opportunities always wins over talent and skill. So unfortunately, that's the fact. That's facts of life. So that's what I'm saying is that you could see as some kind of shitter, like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, for example. They are not very intelligent people. If you take away all of their privileges, they're gonna be like probably working in Walmart supermarket, stacking shelves or something like that. And then maybe hopefully someday they're gonna be a manager, because that level of intellect is so low. It's very difficult, and also that level of, you see, the problem with them is that they have high ego and very low intellect. When you combine the two together, it's a very very deadly combination. But because of the privileges, of course, they can skyrocket. Like you can have like a person who is super low in intellect and ability, but because he just gets lucky with the opportunities so much, he skyrockets. He gets born in the right place. It's just some people are just like that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is that comparing yourself to is very very bad idea. You want to compare yourself to yourself, and then you want to basically improve yourself, and that's it. That's kind of the recipe for happiness, I suppose, in life. Because if you, well, I already covered that. I don't want to get into this rabbit hole of comparing yourself to other people. Like, social media is also very bad because a lot of pictures you see are photoshopped. Also, they are pre-selected, so not only are you looking at Photoshop pictures, you're also looking at the best angled pictures. So all of that stuff is just completely, it creates a picture of fantasy. It's like it's like looking at the cartoon and thinking that this is real. It's I don't know. I stopped social media, like I blocked almost everything. So, and I'm telling you, my self-esteem increased by bazillion times. Bazillion. So, it's not good for you. I'd say social media is not good for you. Just ban it, basically. That's it. Okay, the final exercise is gonna be write down your top ads. So we need to put this stuff. So write down your top ads would be. It's very very simple exercise. Again, I'm gonna take Excel. I'm gonna write down top 100 ants. Ants stand for automatic negative thought. And this will be. Are we recording? Yes, we are. Okay. YouTube. So here, again, I like date. And, well, I just did it today. I'm just seeing. My top 100 ants. Let's see. So I have ant. I have. Well, I don't even have date. Yeah, I don't even have. Yeah, because ants unlikely to have a date. Yeah. So is it true or false, or probability of happening? And then I have reframing and notes. So this is what my one looks like. So let's look at this. So ant, again, it could be like anything silly. I don't know. I was doing this a long time ago, a course, and some people have problems with boldness. Like, okay, people will not like me because I am bold. For example, I'm not bold, but I'm just giving an example. Like, okay, is it true or false? It's probably false. High chance, because I mean there are a lot of people are bold, and many like bold people. When I say bold, I mean hair. Many successful people are bold. In fact, I'd say being bold is actually a fitness indicator, because you are saving time, not washing and looking after your hair, and girls see it as masculine, because over grooming is very feminine. Like, over grooming is definitely like, you know, you see sometimes guys they have like perfume, they have nails done, and when I look at that, I don't know. To me, that tells me this guy's not very successful because the mindset is in the wrong place. Because guys are not designed to be overly sexy, I suppose. They are more designed to be productive, strong, and being the pillar of society that moves society forward. Now that's sexy to a mature woman. Now, of course, a teenage girl is probably gonna like Justin Bieber. So, but like my advice on dating: don't date teenage girls. Date more mature girls. Like I'm talking about girls that are looking for males. Like because you see, when you go before that, they tend to be more of a very immature, and they tend to be more like they're dating a guy because what their friends are going to think of him, right? They kind of like they select a boyfriend based on what their girlfriends are gonna tell them about him. Do you know what I mean? They're not really selecting for, you know, is it gonna be a good father? Is it gonna stick around when I get pregnant? Are they gonna be a provider? You know, like it's a different ball game, and I wouldn't go into. It's a waste of time. Like the teen dating scene and this immature dating scene, like women in nightclubs. It's such a, it's basically a like it's a disaster. Just don't do it. It's the worst shit you can do. Honestly, it's like biggest waste of time. I'd say it's even worse than League probably. Because I tried it and like the quality of woman you get is just outrageous. It's just outrageous, right? You're better off with getting like escorts if you really want to practice, you know, being good in bed. And if you want a long-term girlfriend, you're really probably looking at college or job, or through friends. Like, you know, when they get married, you maybe meet somebody there. Because man, going to nightclubs, I have never. Oh my! Like I tried it a couple of times. I don't want to get into. It's the worst shit ever. Worst shit ever. Okay, so another ant would be. Let's talk about ants. All right. So ant would be automatic negative thought. I'm too dumb. Okay, I'm too dumb for X Y Z. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with this one. Okay, so you need to start breaking down. Okay, why do you think you're dumb? Okay, so let's say, okay, why do you think you're dumb? Because it takes me too long to learn something, for example, right? But then you have to look into complexity of the subject. Are you learning a poem, or are you learning how to do backend SQL server? That's the two different topics, right? So it could be that I'd say unlikely. You might be just studying something too complex. Like for example, I'm not smart enough to do theoretical physics. The maths required to do it is way out of my capabilities. Right, so when I'm trying to do theoretical physics, I can say yes, that's true. I am dumb, in fact, for theoretical physics. But when we're talking about stuff like computer science, I have enough brain power to do it. Right, so we need to kind of in here we need to understand what we're doing. Okay, another ant. Let's look at another ant. Let me think. 1 sec. Yeah, like for me, it's very difficult to do this stuff because I've been working on my kind of mental health, I suppose, and positive thinking and that stuff for such a long time. Like for me, it's like the best thing. The best thing to do is to become a scientist when you're dealing with this stuff. Like if you're superstitious, it's a lot easier to be a scientist because everything is factual. Do you know what I mean? Like with superstition, I don't know how to work with superstition. That's one of the things I changed was I just became a scientist, and everything just became very very crystal clear because of how science works, basically. Okay, so let's just Google negative beliefs. I don't have any purpose. I know it's a shitty one. I'm a failure. No one is a fail. Okay. I'm worthless. Will never become successful. Let's take this one. Because that's very generic, right? So. Okay, that's very, very unlikely. Because what that tells me. I'm worthless and never become successful. That's very generic, honestly. First of all, you need to define success. Define success. What does it mean for you? Then set up small goals. Like this. Yeah, so this is a very good example. You want to set up very, very small baby steps so you can slowly climb up. Because if you set goals that are too high, it's not going to work. You're going to get demoralized. Define success, what does it mean for you, then make small goals and start accomplishing them. Now, you should be able to... The good book in here would be Skills of Success workbook. Yeah, so you see this one, Skills of Success by Stella Cottrell. It has a lot of exercises. Like, the whole book is not really... Like, there's small amounts of theory. Most of it is just kind of like digging through your brain and trying to wire it and see where the wiring is incorrect, if that makes sense. It's very similar to the cognitive... These books here. Behavior changing tools. Yeah, this one here, you see. Because in here we're just like rewiring your brain a little bit, in a way. So in here, yeah. So you see, like, and if you know your success, you know your purpose, because sometimes purpose is because you don't have a goal in life, right? And then when you don't have a goal in life, you don't know what to do, right? So you need to set that up for yourself. Setting financial goals is good. Fitness goals are good. Reading a certain amount of books is good. So, but don't set goals that you don't have control over. Because sometimes you can say, oh, I want to become a billionaire and set up my own business. Like, statistical probability of setting up your own business and being successful, slim to none, right? So we need to kind of set up goals where, kind of like, okay, create mission statement, create. I don't know. I wouldn't advise going to business. Like, if you want to do business, then you need to consult somebody who does business, right? Because I wouldn't get into that gig. It's just way, way too much failure. Unless your father is like super rich and you have bazillion privileges, astronomical marketing budget, already connections where you can be featured on some kind of news, you're just not gonna make it, statistically speaking, right? Now, some people are gonna tell you, oh, you're being negative, put it as an and, but that's factual. Like, for example, being positive about winning the lottery is not really gonna help you because statistically speaking, it's just your odds of winning are so small. It's actually a bad idea to do it. Like, if you run the decision to play the lottery through Benjamin Franklin tool, you will see that it's factually insanity to play the lottery. It's just like, unless you're having fun with it. Like, if your plan is to make money, it's the opposite. You should never play it. But if you want to just have fun, by all means, right? Okay, so yeah, so here you can just define your success. But you see what we're doing? We are writing down your negative beliefs, and then we are analyzing them, reframing them, and then making a decision whether it's true or false, right? So let's say, okay, you see, like, ants are very similar to BS box, because that's why I told you, if you clean up your BS box, your ants are kind of going to disappear. That's why I'm struggling in here, because I already cleaned up my BS box, and like, I don't really have a lot of ants. They're just like, because a lot of them that I wrote down myself, they were factually completely wrong. So yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is that, you see, this is probably the best exercise out of this. Like, this one and this one, if you just do this two, I don't really think you need this one, because this one automatically clears up the population of ants in your head. Right? So this is designed to kind of, so you will know factually that the bullshit box in your head is really incorrect, because I promise you it's not going to be correct. It's an evolutionary mechanism that is too old. Like, fundamentally, if you study evolutionary psychology, you will understand that Humans are not designed for today's society. We are designed for 50, 100 people tribes living in the forest or the jungle. That's kind of, our emotions are designed for this. So that's why they are useless in a city where most of the people you meet are your friends, right? Well, most of the people you meet are honest, trustworthy people. Not on YouTube. On YouTube, it's a different story, but I'm talking about in society, right? Whereas in jungle, everything is trying to kill you. So there is a big difference between going to the store where everybody's trying to help you, right? And if you get lost, you come over to another human and say, hey, where do I go? And living in a jungle where the next tribe is trying to kill you because you are competition for food for them. And every single creature in there is trying to feed on you because they probably haven't been eating in like 2 days, so they're very, very hungry and they don't give a shit if what they do is bad. They just want to eat. Now, that is, do you understand? Like, that's what your emotional circuitry is designed to do, and that's what the BS box is kind of programmed to do. That's why it's telling you, no, don't go to talk to this guy. Don't talk to that. Don't go there. Don't go, because you're gonna get killed, right? Because it thinks you are in the jungle, but you're not. You are in modern society, and for modern society, you have to replace it with this tool. So that's this part, and then this part here is just, we are just pumping your self-esteem up so that when it goes low, you can look back and say, okay, I love myself 10 times, and then you look back and say, oh man, that's awesome. I've done so many things. And that's about it. So yeah, I'm gonna put this video here, so up to yourself. Take care, and I'm gonna probably let me just put examples in here, probably to the right. Examples. Whoopsie. So I'm gonna put the examples in here of these things. Okay, take care, bye bye.